The Indian electric two-wheeler market hit a new peak in October, and there is no dearth of action when it comes to new product launches. The newbie in the market now is Raptee. Raptee has just introduced its high-performance motorcycle, and we have with us to talk about that and more Dinesh Arjun, the CEO and founder of Raptee. Dinesh, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
How's been the initial reaction to the model?
Response has been great. I think more importantly, organic response has been great. We've got a tremendous amount of inquiries. I think it's more so just because of lack or dearth of products in the motorcycle market. So people are really looking forward to new electric motorcycles that can perform better than petrol-powered motorcycles, right? I think this really shows demand, and yeah, it's been great. Last couple of weeks has been phenomenal for us. Yeah.
Help us understand who is actually the electric motorcycle buyer in your assessment, because like you said, it's still a new category and a category that is just getting created, and you are trying to cater to a certain niche of the market. What is the conviction behind catering to that end of the market?
Right. What we believe is we want to kind of bring the communication completely away from both total cost of ownership and environmental friendliness, right? I think that's been driven into consumers'
narrative of EVs.
Yeah, I think, and it's very clear it's going to be, it's a given, and that's not what we're also very clear that we don't want to drive that. We want to be very clear that an individual is going to buy into an electric vehicle only when he or she believes that that vehicle that he or she is buying is an upgrade to whatever they're already riding, right? And our emphasis has clearly been on that. Our belief is you provide a motorcycle or a product that is, and electric vehicles can be better than petrol-powered vehicles, right? And that's what we're proving. One is the biggest challenge first to kind of break is performance, and we've all seen with the likes of Tesla and Porsche that it is possible. Second, now is reliability and longevity, and that's the direction that we're taking. And more importantly, as we were discussing earlier, is charging standardization. And these points have luckily for us landed very well with our customers. So yeah.
Good to hear. What is your expectation on the segment? What share of the market do you expect electric motorcycle to make up for in the coming times? Because it's still a very small niche. Right. What are the kind of TIV do you see? What role would you want Raptee to play in that?
Sure. No, so the goal for Raptee is not to stay in a niche, but rather drive,
democratization?
More essentially, but not necessarily directly from Raptee. If I can enable 3 other of my competitors to also do that to the customers, we'd be the happiest in the world, right? So the way we're starting off is with the segment, which is the 250cc to 300cc segment, where today we believe the technology is there for us to really give a product that outcompetes or outperforms the product. In fact, one of the things that we're planning to do in the next coming weeks is kind of give test rides alongside a 300cc motorcycle and kind of not just explain how the Raptee T30 is better, but how EVs can be better, right? So the larger vision is when somebody takes a ride on a motorcycle, I'm still fine if they choose to buy another motorcycle, but it should be another electric motorcycle, and that's essentially what we're trying to drive.
So what share do you see, and is there a portfolio expansion that you expect?
Right. So with this, obviously we're entering a segment which is today a size of about 1 million units a year. We again, it's not like you said, it's going to take some time to really drive. Today, scooters are at 13-14%, and I think this is kind of going to accelerate over the next few years. We want to have a reasonable about 4 to 6% market share by the end of 2030 at least. We're being a little conservative at that. We want to start slow. We want to ensure the products that we deliver not only reach people, but also the people who are buying, especially the early adopters, are really happy with the first products that they're getting.
That's a good vision to have. 4 to 6% is a good vision to have, but it'll need for portfolio expansion, isn't it? So what are the segments that you think you'd be catering to in the coming years, and what volume ambition do you have?
Sure. So for the intention is to not be a single product company for a very long period of time. We already have products in the pipeline. We have one product which will be coming again, similar time next year, which will be based on the same platform. That will also compete in the 250 to 300 cc.
Different form factor.
Different form factor, but again, a motorcycle in the same space, but catering to a completely different target audience. And 24 months from now is when we want to come out with another product which will cater to a larger group of people.
More mass offering.
More mass offering, but not in the 100cc space, but a little bit more.
150cc.
Exactly. We're looking at, we have a production facility today that can push out about 1,500 vehicles a month, which can be scaled up to 9,000 vehicles a month. And we hope to kind of reach that kind of peak volume by the end of the 24th month.
Right.
We want to start slow. The first year is going to be slow for us because we want to ensure that the products that we deliver are going to the customers properly, getting delivered and are delivering what we promise that they will deliver. But we have at least the facility and everything to scale up fast once we kind of hit saturation in terms of deliveries and the experience.
All this will need capital. How well capitalized are you? Is there a next round of funding on the annual? How much capital would you need? What's your investment plans like?
Right. No, we take pride in the fact that we've been one of the OEM startups which has raised a fraction of capital as some of our peers and kind of still delivered the same. While being a lot more arguably vertically integrated company. We do have sufficient capital to kind of start deliveries of vehicles and then scale up to the first few cities that we're planning. However, we are continuously in the lookout for additional capital. We're currently in the middle of a $20 million raise, which will help us not only deliver these vehicles faster, but also help us become profitable as we kind of hit larger volumes.
Let's say 2025, how do you see Raptee in the market? With volumes, with revenue, with profitability?
Right.
Portfolio.
So 2025, at least calendar year, will be our first real year of sales. It again, like I said, we're looking at not more than about 8,600 units in the first year. So we want to be very clear with how we deliver a product, what experience we deliver. But more importantly, we're looking at roughly about 10 cities by the end of 2025 where we want to be present. This again really depends on we do have a couple of parameters in terms of existing EV penetration, existing market size in terms of the mid-size market, which is the 250cc market, and also kind of distribution of chargers that are already available. But again, we're already seeing differences in terms of where bookings are already coming in from, right? So we were hoping a couple of cities in the south would actually be the
good starting point.
Yeah, good starting point, but we're seeing a lot of bookings coming in from the west,
Lovely.
Which is a very interesting point of view. So depending on that, we'll slowly kind of be agile to what the market requires and more.
Just lastly, how do you see the market environment right now? And do you see this traction continuing for electric vehicles?
Yeah, 100%. I think even with our launch and the feedback that we received, there's obviously a lot of noise around after sales and
service.
Exactly, and the longevity of products. But that clearly, that hasn't kind of deterred customers away from the products, right? Like,
that's good to hear.
I think what we're seeing is we're seeing people wanting great products and served with great customers. Essentially after sales service, thereby delivering experience as well. So that's what people are focusing on. They're not saying, okay, no, I don't want to go into a new product or a new brand, right? So I think it's exciting times because people are open to new brands despite all the issues that are there in the market. So yeah, we'll wait and watch.
Lovely. So you expect the momentum to continue to grow?
100%. I think 2025, 2026, a lot more newer brands like us, but more importantly, legacy brands are also kind of bringing in products. And I think
that'll expand the pie.
Exactly. We'll have to go hand in hand because they will drive much needed momentum. We expect to drive kind of
differentiation.
Exactly. And I think that will help the entire market grow.
Lovely. Thank you, Dinesh.
Thank you so much for
joining us.
Yeah,
all the best.
Appreciate it.